What's up everyone, welcome back to PTS Retro Tech. Hope we're doing all well. So as you've seen by the thumbnail, we've got the iPhone 5 back on the channel. Now you're probably thinking, I haven't seen this device on the channel before, but if you've been following the channel for a while now, or like from the start, you would know that I bought this about 2 years ago, and I've done like one video on it, and that was the unboxing. I will put that video on the screen now and in the video description below, so if you want to check it out you can. And let's actually get into this review, and I'm going to basically be going over if it's worth buying in 2020. So recently Apple have released some great iPhones. You've got the iPhone 11, the 11 Pro, and I do actually really love the colour on them, especially the green one, and you got the grey effect one as well. And you've got the iPhone 12 as well, that's recently come out as well, and 12 mini, and the SE2 as well, which looks really amazing as well. It looks a bit like the iPhone 8 actually, but they're really amazing. So this iPhone 5 came out in 2012, the 12th of September, and it was the last iPhone that Steve Jobs announced. So the iPhone 5 has got an A6 chip. Now the phone is 8 years old, but it's still coping pretty well, and it runs iOS 10.3.4, and that was the last update that you could actually get on the iPhone 5. Now this iPhone 5 is 16 gig, but you can get 32 and 64. I would recommend, if you are planning on buying an iPhone 5, I'd recommend to get the 32 gig because the 16 gig just isn't enough these days. But if you're just looking to use it just a phone and use iMessage, iMessage actually still works as well, so that's a good sign with this phone as well. Then it's not too bad. But if you're taking pictures and you're storing like other stuff like music, watching like YouTube and that, and like other apps and that, then your storage would go like that. Certain apps would be limited as well, because certain apps would need like iOS 11, iOS 12, so just the newer iOS's, but certain apps will still run with the iPhone 5, but it would be on an older version. Battery life as well on the phone, you can get a day or two out of it, but it depends how much you use it, and the more apps you have, the more stuff you have, the more it's going to use the battery. But the battery life is fine. Obviously it's not the best battery in the world. You've got newer iPhones out there with better batteries and just way more better on speed, but the battery life isn't that bad. It can be usable still. Taking a quick look at the design as well, it's got a really nice effect to it. You've got the old volume rockers that were on most of the older iPhones. Even now you do get that design, but it's more better. And then you've got the lock button on the top, where you can obviously switch the phone on and off. On the back as well, I do actually love the iPhone 5 how it's been designed. If I just zoom it in, you've got the matte finish, and you've also got the jet finish along here, and I do actually like that. Now the iPhone 5 was actually very common to get scratches, but mine's actually in decent condition. But you can always pick one up all day long. They're not too hard, but now and again certain ones can get chipped or stoned, like basically cracks on the back and that, and like the chips and stones can be on the corner, but mine's got a couple, but nothing too bad. Taking a look at the App Store as well, it's running perfectly fine. As I said, certain apps might ask for a later version of iOS, but certain apps would probably work fine with the iPhone 5, because iOS 10.3.4 isn't really that old. It is a couple of years old, but not too much. So certain apps like YouTube would work fine for now, but maybe in the future they might get discontinued because it might need like a newer iOS update basically. Taking a look at Safari quickly, I've just loaded up YouTube as you can tell, and doing a quick little speed test. As you can tell, it's working fine. No issues whatsoever with YouTube. It is a 4-inch phone as well, so if you're one of them people that have big hands and like don't really prefer small devices, then this isn't really the one to go for. But if you're not too fussed, then it is what it is, to be honest. But it feels pretty comfortable. I've got big hands, as you can tell, but it feels really comfortable in my hands, and I can like function everything fine as well. And this iOS as well, iOS 10.3.4, has some really good features. You've still got the light feature. If I just get it up, the light feature, Safari, you got the calculator camera, so it's got some really good features. And they still work absolutely fine. Maybe in the future they might slow down a little bit, but for now it's pretty good. But that's what it is, to be honest. And certain stuff, as I said, might be a little bit limited in the future, but for now the phone is perfectly fun and like it functions really well as well. I enjoy using my iPhone 5 for music, and that the music is really good as well. The speakers and that, they're just really amazing. Originally as well, the iPhone 5 came with iOS 6.1.6, and then over the years you had the newer updates, and then this was the final one. But iOS 6.1.6 was a really good update, and this is actually really good as well, to be honest. It's not too laggy, as I said. It runs perfectly fine, and I enjoy using it. The iOS is just amazing for what it is. So I have just stuck it on a tripod just to show you guys how it sits and that. As you can tell, the position is really good for what it is. The front facing camera is a 1.2 megapixel camera, and the back one is an 8 megapixel camera. And for what it is, it's actually really good. And I will just take some pictures with the iPhone 5 and just compare it and see how it sits and how it looks really. So I've just took a couple of pictures, and as you can tell, the camera quality looks really good. For 8 megapixel camera, it is what it is, and you can get some really good pictures out of it. And you can also change that effect on most pictures, as you can tell, so that's always good as well. As you can tell as well, I've got a lovely view of the tree as well, and the effect has come out really well. And I did use the flash for that, so the flash is really useful, because if you're in like a dark area and you want to make a really good effect on a picture, the flash does do the job really well for what it is as well. But yeah, apart from that, the iPhone 5 is a really good device, and if you're in like a strict kind of budget, then the iPhone 5 is really ideal for you if you don't mind having a small phone, and just like consider these things what I've went over. But overall, it's an amazing phone, and I have lots of fun using the iPhone 5, and it's just really amazing. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, share, comment and subscribe. And if you don't mind, if you could drop me a follow on Twitter, that would really mean a lot. And I'm just trying to grow the page, so if you could drop me a follow, I will put it on the screen now as well. That would really mean a lot to me. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.